Breaking, yes, it don't bust for this area as a Biafra independence protests has gone international once more. Yes, my people, normally it don't go international. Yes, everybody knows about it, but once again, it has broken the bar on the international level. Yes, we'll be going directly into the details of this news. Don't forget, we are your one and only Exposed News TV. Yes, these are the details. Also, in response to escalating violence in the Biafra land, yes, in southeastern, he said the protests has erupted across major European cities with thousands of members of the Biafran diaspora demanding international intervention in the ongoing conflict. Yes, we have there have been noticed that there have been demonstrations in London, Berlin, Paris, and Brussels, with the independent people calling for the independent Biafra and condemning the zoo government for its handling of the crisis. Yes, we'll be talking about these specific places, make you go know, make you understand, say everything where they actually happen is something that is meant to be and not a joke. Okay, he says in London, Trafalgar Square, as one way or another, protesters and people that are Biafrans have come across and come around waving Biafran flags. They've held banners and said, "Free Biafra now and end the Nigerian occupation." Similar things were reported in other cities where members of the Biafran community and their allies chanted slogans and called for foreign governments and the United Nations to intervene, which PM Ekpa has been on the sidelines, have been in the apex too, making sure I'm poking around, making sure that these people come to a full-time understanding that there is no going back on this particular movement. The process comes on the heels of the Biafra Liberation Armies and the BNL's movement moving and stopping across the violence that has been taking place in the Biafra land. As zoo forces are in disarray, the diaspora believes that the time has come for the international community to step in full time. I believe they have stepped in some time ago and they have made a few comments, but now they are expected to make heavy comments, heavy comeback, and make effective, what do you call it? Effective impact in this particular time at this moment, because this time is the right time. Okay, he says here that we cannot sit idly while our brothers and sisters are being killed from one Ngozi. We there are said that stays in London. He said the world must recognize Biafra's right to self-determination and self-referendum and force the zoo government to stop its violence. International human rights groups have also raised concerns about the growing humanitarian crisis in the region, with tens of thousands displaced by the conflict and the zoo government's military response. As you all know that these people seek to do complete a genocide in the Biafra land, in the southeast region, and it is not something that is even being hidden on any ground. But then it is not what we'll be looking at whenever we decide to do the necessary things that we need to do. That is just the truth of the matter. We are going to succeed. We are going to make sure we do everything in our power to make everything work out. The United Nations has called for a ceasefire and a peaceful resolution, but thus far diplomatic efforts have failed to gain traction. As the conflict in Zoo intensifies, the Biafra's global presence is making waves on the international stage, putting additional pressure on both the Nigeria government and the foreign powers to address the situation before it spirals further out of control. So okay, my people, now so we go dey give am straight to now back to back. Take notes. That is what we are here for. On another note, it is always good to have it in mind that we are not slacking back on another level. The next thing you will be hearing would be things that concern the Biafra movement, coming from the PM Simon Ekpa. Listen and enjoy. Thank you.
Different from our own dialogue. I don't know if you're paying attention. That's why we don't criticize them. Somebody like Iginla, we don't criticize him. We take our own, the one that favors us, and we leave them with their own. Their own dialogue is to call their agitators and settle them, talk to them, calm them down, settle with them, and then the country moves on. That is their own dialogue. Our own dialogue is different. We are thinking, or we are coming from a different direction. Our own dialogue is to tell us, okay, you guys have drawn your map, you know your borders, okay, let us make it official. Boom, everybody goes their separate ways. That is our own dialogue, and that is where we stand. You understand? So that's why I said we take the one that is beneficial to us, and we leave their own, instead of us to criticize him. Let's continue.
This cry we are hearing here is not a cry of children, it's a cry of adults. The only way, I am not an advocate that Nigeria should separate, God forbid.
Good. Now, wow. To be honest with you, when I got this video recently, I think it was yesterday, or that I've watched the video before. But when I got this particular one that I'm playing now, I didn't watch it till this moment. But I knew that this same man of God, at a point, there's a time he said he is not for Nigeria's breakup because he's a full-blooded Nigerian. And it's not even up to 1 minute. Boom. Let's listen again. So remember, I have made it clear that this analysis is not against Iginla. At least he tried. He tried to speak up than other criminals who are parading themselves as pastors in the zoo. Even bigger than him. Some bigger criminals. So he's even better than some other bigger, armed robbers who use Bible and microphone to deceive our people.
No. I am not an advocate that Nigeria should separate, God forbid. No. But I'm saying the best way to handle this, listen to the cry of the children. Sit down. Everything is not gun and bullet. When you take the leader away, okay, take the leader away. The next, how many people are on the street? Do you know how many spirit of Biafra have entered people? Do you know how many? Do you know how many millions are carrying the spirit of Biafra around? So if you kill the leader or you take the leader away, can you take the spirit from everybody?
Never.
Ojukwu is not here, but Biafra is alive. It's an ideology. The man who started it has left. Before he left, he kept quiet and lived peacefully and left. But the generation that have come have picked it up, and it's even worse than his own now. And they are engaging it with knowledge.
And when this man said this, he said, and even worse than now than as it is before. When this man said we are talking about 7 to 8 years ago, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was illegally detained in Kuje, when he was arrested, actually arrested in Lagos State, airport, international airport, Murtala Mohammed, airport hotel. So that is when this man was making these utterances, telling them that it is not about gun and bullets. And remember, that time we were not armed. IPOB members were being mauled on a daily basis. We were not armed. The zoo were having their field day. Anytime they hear protest from IPOB, boom, they have come to suck blood that day. That day they have come to suck blood. And we were not armed. This man was telling them this thing, that even now, it is now even worse than Ojukwu them time. He was saying it, he never knew that we will be armed someday. And this is just 7 to 8 years ago. Right? 2017. 2017. Right? So, even he himself wasn't aware that the word he said that time in the name of prophecy will even go beyond what he said he saw. He never knew. So if the Zoological Republic was aware of what is going to be happening today, at least they would have paid attention to this man's word, even though they want to accept it as a prophecy, no problem.
But the generation that have come have picked it up, and it's even worse than his own now, and they are engaging it with an idea, with knowledge. So the best way to deal with this is not gun and bullet. It's not gun and bullet. When the revolution want to start, the revolutionists, the first thing they will do, they will pass the idea and impregnate their followers. The only way to stop it is to stop them before they impregnate the followers. But if the followers are impregnated, that's all. All of them are carrying pregnancy. They will soon deliver to other children. If you have 2 million Biafra, you already have 4 million Biafra, because they are selling the ideology. And now I don't have a problem. But what my own concern is that you don't take woman's life. The best way to do that, you engage them in the ideology. If you feel the ideology is not correct, you dialogue. You sit down with them. If dignifying them will make them feel important, then do that.
Did you get that? That's why I told you we take our own and leave them with their own. He said, if dignifying them will make them important, then do that. So that what will happen, so that the country will continue. But we are not here for that. We are not here for that. We do not need anybody to dignify us. No. Hold your dignity or whatever they call it. Hold it. Eat it. Bath with it. Sleep with it. Eat it. That you may be belly full. We don't need your dignity or dignifying, whatever. We don't need it. Let us go and build our own dignity in our own home. As a free nation. As a free people. That is the most important thing to all of us. We know how to build dignity. We are Biafrans. Nobody can teach us how to build integrity or dignity. We know it better than every other person. We know it. We know it. Go and check record. We have more men of integrity and dignity all over the world. Go and check record. Go, just go and do your own research. So we know how to make name, we know how to build a name, we know how to build dignity, we know how to build integrity. So Fulani cannot come from Fota Jalon to give us dignity. Fulani or Tinubu, controlled by the Fulani, Bambiala, and Boko Haram, has no capacity to give us integrity. Never. So let us go and build our own dignity, that the whole world may come and pay homage. We have what it takes to do it. And they know. They know very well that we have what it takes to build the dignity. That's why they are fighting. They don't want us to do it. Because they don't want to be irrelevant. They don't want to be seen as irrelevant people. You know, in a more forma, onya anyukwu nolo n'akụkụ. Or if you na agba no bibo, how is this person doing this? How comes he is the one seen as as somebody who is so much important? How comes he's the one? How comes? The only thing that will be coming in their mind is how come? They wouldn't want to wait and learn from you in order to be like you. Rather, they will be asking themselves, why him? Why her? How come? But a wise person, a very wise person who wants to learn will take his time, learn from you. How are you doing it? And when they learn perfectly, they will come out as, they will come out as champions. I believe we are back. If you can hear my voice, please let me know in the comment section. I believe we are back. Sorry for the interruption. Can you hear my voice? Please let me know in the comment section so that we can proceed. Very, very important. Let me know in the comment section if my voice is loud and clear.
Gun and bullet. The spirit from everybody. Ojukwu is not here, but Biafra is alive. It's an ideology. The man who started it has left. Before he left, he kept quiet and lived peacefully and left. But the generation that have come have picked it up, and it's even worse than his own now. And they are engaging it with knowledge. So the best way to deal with this is not gun and bullet. It's not gun and bullet. When the revolution want to start, the revolutionists The first thing they will do, they will pass the idea and impregnate their followers. The only way to stop it is to stop them before they impregnate the followers. But if the followers are impregnated, that's all. All of them are carrying pregnancy. They will soon deliver to other children. If you have 2 million Biafra, you already have 4 million Biafra, because they are selling the ideology. And now I don't have a problem. But my own concern is that you don't take woman's life. The best way to do that, you engage them in the ideology. If you feel the ideology is not correct, you dialogue. You sit down with them. If dignifying them will make them feel important, then do that. We can't be killing people and we are getting excited. No.
Afonja, did you hear that? Afonja, did you hear that? I am happy that this man is a Yoruba man. He said, you cannot be buying people and you want us to be happy with that. This man is a born again. This man is a born again. You know, is it a born again? No, he's a real, should I say real Christian? No, I don't believe in religion. He's a born again. Yes. Only that word he said is enough for me to know that he's a born again. He is not biased. Yes. You cannot be buying people. Let's hear that again.
We can't be killing people and we are getting excited. No.
You cannot be buying people and we are getting excited. He said no. He shouted in loud voice. You see? Now, that brings me to the all-important question that has been hovering all over the atmosphere, asking these individuals, especially the Afonjas and the Fajunas in our land, the Afonjas from Yoruba land and the Fajunas from Igbo land. Where have you all been? You see, the comment of this man here, only that word he said, you cannot be buying people, and we are getting excited. He said, no, he shouted in loud voice. That has brought me to the question, all the Fulefus, all the Afonjas, who have been gallivanting all over the places, all the media platforms that are there, telling us how to fight for our freedom, telling us how they dislike what the so-called, violent agitation, the so-called violent agitation, telling us how they don't support the way we are doing it, telling us there is a way to do it, telling us that if the zoo want to break up, not the way we are doing it, we cannot come together and discuss and break it up. What is holding you from coming together to discuss, even without me? Without me, could you please go together or come together and discuss the breakup of the zoo and leave me behind? Leave me alone. I don't want to follow you. In fact, dialogue it, discuss it, come out with answer, with a reasonable, answer, response from your dialogue. We will appreciate it. We will appreciate it 100%. So all these idiots who go about on social media, so-called mainstream media, telling us how to fight for our freedom, that it is not by violence. Where were you? Where have you been? This man has vindicated us once again. He said, you cannot be going around buying people. And we're excited about that. He said, no. Only that word alone, I have labeled him a born again. Because, do you know why I told you that if truly there is a prophet, there is a man of God in the zoo, there are not more than one. Do you know why I say so? Do you know why I say so? You don't know. If I will still say it till thy kingdom come, until the zoo is broken into pieces. If there is any man of God, I said any, if there is any real man of God in the zoo, they are not more than one. And that one that I'm talking about, I don't have Iginla at heart to say it. In fact, I don't have anybody at heart to say it. No one. But do you know why? Because every man of God you see today, or should I say, majority of the men of God that I have seen, all pray for the betterment of Nigeria. I want you to listen. And sometimes it's confusing. If you don't pay good attention, it will confuse you. Almost all the men of God in the zoo today that I have seen, both live or video, all of them always pray for the betterment of the Zoological Republic. To the extent in Catholic, where I was born, there's this segment, there's this certain prayer. They usually pray, prayer for Nigeria. Can any Catholic in the house? Do we have any Catholic in the house? Do we have any Catholic in the house? At least for you to bear me witness. I was born a Catholic. Do we have any Catholic in the house? There's this segment, there's this certain prayer they pray, because I've not been to Catholic church for ages now. There's this prayer they do prayer for Nigeria. Pray. Don't worry. When I will open the line, I would like anybody to remind me that prayer, to even pray if you know how to pray, because they customize it. They they customize it. It become a poem or a hymn. Somebody say prayer for Nigeria in distress. Let me highlight it. Prayer for Nigeria in distress. So when is this distress going to end? Does it not have ending? Every year, from year to year, you are praying for Nigeria in distress. When is the distress will leave the zoo? They customize it. They learn it. It's like a poem or a hymn. Every children knows how to sing it. Adults know how to sing it. Everybody knows how to sing it. Somebody said both Catholic and Anglican. I didn't know it was like that in Anglican, by the way. I only know about Catholic because I was born a Catholic. You see, prayer for the zoo in distress. This is the reason why I tell you, I beat my chest and tell you that there is no any man of God in the entire Nigeria. If there is anyone, there are not more than one. Because if you are a true, let me not say man of God, prophet, yes. Anybody you see calling himself prophet is a yahoo. There is no prophet in the zoo, because if there is any genuine prophet that hears from God, you will know that Nigeria can never survive. This is where the only way I know whether you're a man of God or not. Once you talk good about the zoo, you are not a man of God. You are a fraud. If you fraud. You are a pure fraud because you are supporting a fraudulent entity. It's only a fraud that can support a fraud. Only a fraud can support a fraudulent entity like the zoo. I am telling you the truth. Anybody who calls himself man of God and you are praying for the betterment of the zoo, Sabo, the bias of innocent youths. Do you know that Nigeria is the killer of innocent youth of the same Nigeria? And you that called yourself man of God is praying for the continuation of the killer of innocent youths. How dare you call yourself a man of God? How dare you?
When I exposed this criminal and I told Govt that he is the campaign manager of Ifeanyi, and I showed you a certain page, a secret page that he's using to campaign for Ifeanyi. How many of you remember? Just be sincere. I want to know the good timers here.
He's moaning. Instant from village. Get it today. The person who wrote this, Victoria or Sai, is either you are listening from the village or you were born in the village like without posting.